Senior pictures. Let's talk about senior pictures today in episode 124. I'm Bill Snodgrass, and that's the topic of this video is senior pictures. And this is for photographers and people who want to have their pictures taken, and parents who might be involved in that process. When I was in school, we did this yearbook thing where the yearbook was kind of our mementos of what it was like to be in school, and yearbooks are still that. But this was what we had, and we would go to the photo studio and have our senior pictures taken, and that would be in the yearbook. Senior pictures have evolved since those days to become this almost like a little yearbook in and of themselves. And so, what should you be looking for? What should you be doing? What should you be thinking about as you plan your senior pictures? I've got 3 tips for people who are going to be involved in the senior picture process. So tip number 1 goes back to that yearbook mentality. What is it about being in high school that you want to preserve, that you want to remember? Around here, a lot of seniors will have open houses or some kind of a graduation reception celebration thing, and they'll have a slideshow. So, kind of a bonus tip, if you're a sophomore or a junior, you might want to start collecting pictures in advance, because it becomes a huge job to sit down and go through 4 years of pictures to find those best moments. Now, if you're going to hire someone, or if you're going to be hired to do senior pictures, that's a thought you need to keep in mind. This is going to be sort of a story of the subject's career life in high school. It's almost a times of my life expose. What was it like to be me? What was it like to be me in high school? So with that in mind, what are the iconic things that will remind you 10, 15, 20 years from now what it was like to be you? What was it like to be in high school during this 4-year period of time? Where did you go after the game? Where did you go before the game? Where did you go after church? Where did you go after band practice? Was there a place? You should go there and have at least one picture taken that will say, this is what it was like to go to. My crew, when I was back in the day, we went to Pizza Hut. And as far as I know, I don't have any pictures. We didn't have 12 megapixel, 18 megapixel phones in our pocket back in 1979, 1980 when I graduated. I don't have any pictures that I know of us hanging around at Pizza Hut after the football game or after the basketball game. And that would be kind of like cool to see what we were doing and see what it looked like. Now, you can obviously whip your phone out and take that picture, but you could also make that part of your senior picture package, that you could go to that place. If you ran track, maybe you want some pictures on the track. Even if you're not running, maybe you want some posed pictures with the track in the background. All these things can be worked out and need to be thought of in advance. So the first tip is to identify those iconic places, events, and things, the things that you want to remember. One of my first senior picture clients was a soccer player, and she was moving on from soccer. She wasn't going to play soccer in college, but she wanted something in there, so she had her cleats, and we took a picture of her with her cleats, and this was kind of like, this is what I was, and this is a transition point, and the cleats are not being worn, but you can see that they have been. So those kinds of things, letterman's jackets, pets, all these kinds of things can be iconic representations of what it was like to be in high school. Number 2, if you're doing a photo session, think in advance about makeup, outfits, props, things that you're going to want to bring to that photo session. What are you going to want to wear? How are you going to do outfit changes? Several of my clients have done this layered thing where they'll start with, they'll have like a t-shirt, and then they'll have another shirt over top of that, and then they'll have their letterman's jacket, and they'll take some pictures with the jacket on, and then they'll take some pictures with the other shirt on, and then they'll take some pictures with just the t-shirt on. One of my clients, we had to stop, and she she ran into a place and used the bathroom there to change into a dress for either into or out of, I don't remember which way, but I think she changed out of her dress. Those are the kinds of things you need to think of in advance. Talk it over with your photographer. If you're a photographer, suggest it to your client to say, hey, how are we going to do? Are you going to do outfits, and how are we going to make the change? Where is that going to happen? Makeup. I know that sometimes like what you wear makeup-wise for jeans and a sweatshirt is different from what you would wear if you had on a dress. So are you going to start with simple makeup and add more to it? What are you going to do about making sure your makeup fits with your outfit? Hairbrush, any kind of hair gizmos that you might stick in your hair as part of your outfit. Sunglasses. What are the kind of props things? Cleats, balls, musical instruments. All those things that were part of your identity as a high schooler. Make sure you have those things. Let the photographer know. Hey, I'm going to bring my sousaphone, and so you need to be planning on that thing. So one of my clients, the mom, the client, and the sister came. The sister came in a separate car and brought the dog. So we did about 15 minutes of pictures with the dog, and then the sister took the dog and went home, and then we finished the session without the dog. So those are the kinds of things you need to think about in advance. What do you want in your picture? How are you going to arrange for it to be there? Photographers may have some props that they want to offer. Some things that they may, if they know what school you went to, they may have some things that they may bring to the session to sort of help you create those iconic moments. The third thought. This is a little bit of a contradiction, but it's both and. It's not an either or an or. It's a both and an and. This is not a session for the photographer. This is a session for the student, so the student can create memories. This is a session for the parents, so the parents can capture those memories. So the student and the parent, they may have different ideas. And if you're the photographer, you're gonna have to make sure you satisfy both of those people. And it's a tricky sociological exercise to get the parents and the students to agree, or to make sure that the parent gets everything that they want and the student gets everything that they want. I've had sessions where there was a particular picture that it was a grandfather. He wanted a particular picture. And the model, the subject, the student was like, whatever. So we got that picture. And then he was much less interested in some of the pictures that she wanted. So it's a both and thing. And as a photographer, you can give ideas like, hey, I want you to sit on this stump and I'll take your picture. And the client will be like, nah, I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. It's not, as a photographer, it's not your picture. So if you're the client, if you're the student looking at this, be respectful, of course, to the photographer, but make sure that you let the photographer know what it is that you want. As a photographer myself, I know when a student says, I want a picture in the bleachers. Well, let's go do that. And we go to the bleachers and we say, okay, now my photography kicks in. I'll be like, why don't you sit here and face this way, back to the cleats picture. Why don't you let me catch the sunlight in this angle and you face this way and you do that. Let's put this, and then the photographer. But I gave the client the picture they wanted. You've got to balance that. Giving the student what the student wants, the senior who's having pictures taken, as well as the parent who's probably going to be there. One more thought on that parent being there. They may want to pull their camera out and take pictures while you're taking pictures. And I've had clients where a grandparent was like, "Don't mind me. I'm going to try to stay out of the way." But they were running around with their iPhone taking pictures the whole time that I was taking pictures. And that's cool in my point of view. That's cool. It's it's not a conflict to me. That's a decision that you as a photographer, are you going to be okay with that? I had another session where the aunt, I think the aunt was there with a point and shoot. It was a good little point and shoot, and was taking a lot of the pictures and was kind of augmenting, but sort of, you know, getting in the angles that I was getting. So there was another decision you have to make. For me, the thought is, this is the client's moment. This is their thing. They pay. I charge an hourly rate. So if they want part of that hourly rate to be Aunt Matilda taking pictures, also, that's up to them. I'm perfectly willing to do that. I don't know if every photographer is going to feel that way. So as a person having your picture taken and having Aunt Matilda there with her, you know, with her point and shoot, you probably might want to talk about that with the photographer, or at least mention it so that they're not caught off guard. So number one, what is the iconic things that you want to capture in your photo session for your senior photo? This set of memories that you are pixelizing and going to keep forever. What do you want to be remembered? Where did you go? What did you do? Who did you do it with? Number two, when you go do this, plan what you're going to wear. How are you going to make the changes? Where are you going to do a change if you have to, you know, do a complete outfit change? Where are you going to do that? Plan that ahead of time. Talk that over with the photographer. So as a photographer, you need to be prepared for the fact that they may want to change their outfit in the middle of the session. And number three, the last tip, the last idea about this is that the pictures are for the client and for the client's parents. And the photographer may have ideas of things they think would be really good, but if that's not something that is iconic, if that's not something that's meaningful to the student or the parent, then the photographer needs to suggest it. And if they don't like that idea, then back off. You know, it is their photo session. It is their memories, and that's what it's all about. So as the summer comes to an end, the senior photo season kind of ramps up. I thought I'd throw this video up here for you guys to sort of get some ideas. Hopefully I'll be pointing some of my clients to this video so that they can get some ideas about what to expect in a senior photo session. A lot of these things are true for any portrait session. A lot of it is true. You know, there's a lot of carryover: outfits, changes of clothes, who's the client, you know, the client parents, aunts, uncles, that sort of thing. Maybe a little bit less the times of the life aspect, but it's true. This is good practices for any portrait photo session. Hope this was helpful. If it was, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications so that you don't miss the vlogs, you don't miss the how-tos, you don't miss the tutorials. Leave me a comment, question, thought. If you're a photographer and you had some kind of crazy experience, how about share that anecdote? That would be kind of fun to kind of see what some of the interesting things have been. If you're a person who is about to have their pictures taken, if you've got questions or thoughts, leave those in the comment section. Again, share this video, and as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.